Wee boop. Wow. Was geht? Hello, I am live. I don't. And my landlady calls me. uh, I don't think so. Okay, that was random. Let's see. Let's ping everybody. Wow, this is cool. How are you doing? Zef Parisoto. That is. Oh dear. I didn't close the channel last time. So people sent something? Wait, no. That's weird. Is the channel still open? Let's close it. No, it's closed. Why did I get a notification for it? That's weird. Live now. Okay, guys, what song should we... Yo, desks, what up? What song should we listen to before we head into feedback? This is a random song. I don't know. Lo-fi. We need some good background music. Some generic ass. Oh dear. Wow. How's it going? Deviant. Actually, good idea. I need to reconnect with the dubstep scene a bit. It's been ages. Oh, right. I remember what I wanted to check out. Like last time I was being annoying about not having any songs that I enjoy from the scene right now. And people sent some recommendations, including you, desks. Okay, so Igloo Ghost, TME. Is that how it's... I want to find that song though. Bach. Actually, I recently very much I refound a classical piano song that I'm absolutely in love with. It's one of Beethoven's. Let's see if that's on SoundCloud. Piano Sonata C major and then 16 something. Nope. This one. Instructions for submission are in the description. Yeah, so this is what you gotta top today. It's very interesting to compare this kind of composition. Oh! I need to learn this one. So fucking good. There's so many people in chat. It's good to see you all. At least your names. I wish I could see you in person, actually. That would be so cool. Desks, I'm excited for your song. Basti, I'm very happy to see you. Magu Music, you can join my Discord in the description, and then I'm going to open the channel for stream feedback in a few seconds. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that right now. Let's go, send me your songs. Steve, what's up? Yeah, I don't have too much time. Let's do like 2 hours before I fall asleep. And I need some food. Wait, what? Okay. Did it get dark for you guys too? Or is it just my screen? Because sometimes this happens on my computer. Okay, so this is a longtime friend of mine. Very ADHD music at some point. And I'm excited to hear what you got. I know the song. Isn't it like, have you sent it to me? Or isn't it like one of your hyperactivity serious songs? Yeah. So far, very catchy. Yeah, I know this one. So the thing I'm focusing on is the melody, like, but and I feel like most of the time that should be of the synths should be the element with the most amount of high end. But I feel like your these kind of stabs are a little bit more present, and I don't think that's super bad. Like, it would just be like a tiny adjustment I would do. And I still feel like the drop moment could hit harder. I don't... Maybe it's because the sub is just like stale until the end. It's like do, 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 do. You could turn it into like a reese and make it like you see where I'm going with this? The downbeat, I can't tell if you want it to be like the first clap is the actual drop moment and you just edged a tiny bit until that happens, or if the first kick is meant to be like the drop moment, but it's missing impact. It's like right in between, right? So if you want the first clap to be the impact, maybe it makes even sense to cut out the first kick and like and if the kick wants to be the first impact, then maybe layer it with one of those sub layers that also has crunchy high end on top of it. Yeah, because I'm hearing the same sub as in the build. It doesn't have like any, like nothing on top of it. And yeah, so those are my thoughts. Yeah, like the drums a lot too. Absolutely. I think you guys even started a song together at some point. Or I know Mr. Kutrix has been using Shui's vocal pack. Or the other way around. I forgot. Oh, that was a cool run. This. Did. I feel like house very much benefits from having like the stocking feel. I mean, this is like very fast house, but the kind of sidechain curve I'd be doing is, because you have flutter going on, right? So on the high end, I would make this be the area where flutter is fluttering, and then you have like the duct area afterwards. So it kind of feels a little weird at the beginning, but maybe this is some kind of curve you want to try out. So you're still like I feel like I'm making a lot of weird noises today. Sorry about that. Wait, I need to. There we go. Okay. The budget goes insane. What are you talking about? Oh, that's Streamlabs. Actually, that's so crazy, right? Because I never ever switched anything up about the like default transitions from Streamlabs, and so many people have never seen it because nobody from actual streamers wants to use them. So people assume that's my thing. Hell yeah! Extending on that melody, that's perfect. Oh, I'm so ready. kind of the same thing. You're teasing it a little too much already. Like this build has more things going on than the actual drop moment. I mean, this is kind of a fake out, but usually in the fake out, like the main bass is at its most present moment. And to my ears, the bass is already as present beforehand in the build up. So either like add another layer to that fake out and like to that main bass to when it drops, or I think the easier option is to like take out the sub in the build, and you still have like you can hear, okay, something crunchy is coming. You can even take it a little bit away from the highest high end and then filter that in, the whole deal, opening it up, and then it's at its full state only at the drop. My streams are the most inconsistent ones you can find on the internet. Oh, I remember I told you about this, how this part sounds like it suddenly turned to triplets, but I suddenly don't mind anymore, so that's fine, I guess. Is that on purpose? I can't tell. Is it just like strong ducking or on purpose? Yeah. Necessary. Hell yeah, absolutely loved that. You have a way to be like unapologetically yourself and like spread so much happy energy in your songs, and that is very cool. I like that. Ooh. Wait, I've been scrolling up. What am I doing? There we go. Oh, it's already Desks and Runipla. There was like one song from them that had some very interesting moments, like the one with the super weird long title. I think I still have it up somewhere here. Yeah, like that thing. It's probably gonna be crap because of my setup. But that like gave me goosebumps at a good amount of times, and that was like the first time I really noticed the artist Runipla. And their work, so I'm excited to hear this, and La 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 Land, and no idea who this is. I mean, I've seen the name, but there's too many artists, guys. And yes, I love that. Ooh, okay. Going poppy. Oh! This is gonna be feedback on like a very high level. So, and I don't know if Runipla are going to see this, but there's a particular thing about their vocals that bothers me a tiny bit, like from the performance side. And it's also something that's been bothering me about my own falsetto quite a lot. I can't really tell head voice and falsetto apart, so take that with a grain of salt. But I've noticed that when I open my mouth like I usually do when singing like all other ranges, then it sounds a little, in German I'd say quäkig, like even childish maybe, like and I feel like this is meant to be more poppy, more kind of Pharrell Williams. I know this like Robin Thicke song, if you can't read from the same page. And I've noticed that when I close my mouth more when doing like the head voice or falsetto thing, then it sounds a little more grown up, a little more serious. Does that make sense? It's entirely my impression, but I feel like the first notes I heard from Ranipla, I was like, okay, these are Ranipla vocals, and they're their own style. But yeah, maybe if they see this, then maybe they would want to try that out a little bit more. But the writing is amazing. I love the instrumental. It's super catchy. Okay, that was cool. Okay, vocals need to be more in the foreground of the mixdown, I feel like, because this is very lyric centered, and like I want to sing along, but I can't understand any of the words. I know it's very challenging in this kind of genre, because in electronic music you want everything to fill the whole, you want like the whole spectrum to be full. So you gotta take a little bit away of that, but I don't think that's impossible, right? So I'm missing some of the sibilances. So like the very highest high end, you definitely can take a little bit away from everything else, like the cymbals. They don't need to be like super in your face. And then you can do like the soothe sidechain ducking method, if that's not happening already. Or yeah, I would suggest even some permanent EQ on everything else. The basses are, and like synths are sounding so great. They are not gonna lose much if you do that, but this song is gonna benefit a lot from being able to understand the vocals clearer, in my opinion. Yeah, agreed. That goes hard as fuck. What the fuck? Yeah, the mix feels a little bit cleaner with the guitar here. I feel like it might be because there's so many vocal layers and they're like all fighting for space. And here it's just the guitar and it's easier to focus on that. Maybe, I don't know. So sick. I kind of don't know in what kind of section I'm here. I mean, I'm pausing a lot, so that's a little bit on me. But I expected a little bit more. Okay, now is a breakdown for like 4 bars, 4 or 8 bars, and then we're getting back into the verse. So usually that would be like coming from a full spectrum to like a and then I know, okay, the verse is starting now. But I feel like this area had like a lot of focus points. It felt like maybe a B section to the drop, but then you came in right back with the vocals. So that was a little bit confusing section-wise to me. So cute though.
Whatever that means.
They
can't find it enough. Scurrying for symbolism, I've immaculate stuff. Train of thought in a rush, kicks a violent blush. I can't believe that you're just more than a crush. Every time you're in my head, my brain melts in the mush. Everything is a plus, with no regret, and I'm willing to go further if you want to put me closer to your arms.
No idea what they said here.
Go further if you want to put me closer to your arms.
Again, the instrumental is like overshadowing the vocals a little too much. I love the instrumental, but yeah, you're gonna have to focus on the vocal there. I think it's the most important part.
Whatever that means.
I think this is your voice, Lumi, and your voice is like heavily multiband compressed and like it's like very in the front. That's the kind of feeling I'm talking about. I want to feel the vocal like that. I want the vocal to feel like that, the other way around. Yeah, maybe that can serve as a reference for the other parts as well. I don't know if you guys have different changes for each other. I assume so. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, right. I mean, the background is like almost completely quiet here, so that's kind of a difference there. Maybe that's just my ears tricking me, thinking this is more processed than the others.
Plus, but no one put it close to your arms. So go ahead.
This is so fucking cute. I'm ready to see this on stream services. Let's stream this. That filter was like a little too resonant for me. Yay! That's so cool. Slower and higher. That's so cool. Yes, very much agreed with like. Okay. A little bit weird ending, just like cutting off the vocal just like that. But that's a banger. I love your guys' composition so much. I love the whole vibe of the song. I love the catchiness of the instrumental, and everything else I've said before stands as is. And here we go with Rai. Next up, is that you? Hello, is that you? Looking handsome. So ready. Okay. No idea what to expect. Like the dum 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 chord steps fill up the mids a little bit too much to my ears. Like generally, I felt like, is it too much here? And it was like beneath the threshold for me to say something. But here, now that you have the melody going on, the melody could definitely be more in focus compared to them. I'd say. Hell yeah. Oh. Still the build? Yes. Oh, damn. Rewind that shit. That's so sick, actually. Those sounds are so cool. Fuck yeah, I'd boost the high end of the kick a bit, otherwise this mix is sounding great to my ears. Like it has a very, like the downbeat moment is like very, like the kick feels thumpy, and then you got like enough, very many other elements coming in. Like it's perfectly building up and growing smaller at the same time. So then it feels like super full. But yeah, that would be the only change I do. Like try to make the transient of the kick maybe a little bit more. Yeah, this is sick. Also, very simple, very easily gettable writing for this kind of a song. So I applaud that, and I'm hoping to see that released at some point. You really gotta release some music, or did I just miss it entirely? Feel free to DM me some of your new releases if you have, like even if it's like 3 months ago, because I did not notice. What's up, 888 man? Really love that sound. And like the swing, that's so fucking cool actually. The loudness was fine, I think. Okay, I'm very ready. Yeah. Ooh, damn. Yeah. Okay. Let me calm myself. I wish there was a tiny riser here. Just a little. It's so clean though, what the fuck? Okay, at this point, the kind of vocal has a little too much presence compared to the bass to me. But that's only after like these, I think it's 32 bars of a drop, that is kind of annoying me a teeny tiny bit, because I want to focus on the bass and like continue dancing. But damn, I love that drop. Needless to say. Because it's like you gotta admit you have a lot going on in the high end, and it's like panning left, right. So my brain is always trying to focus on that, and then I'm like, no, focus on the bass. No, focus on the bass, because it's like in the middle is the main element. Focus on the bass. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I think main thing I change is like let the vocal have less high end. So catchy. Check out, if you don't know the song, check out Space Laces This Way, I think. Space. Because it has one writing difference right there. There's, like in your song, there's a vocal going on all of the time, but in the second drop, it's going I don't know what it's saying, but if you check out the song, you're gonna notice that it's repeating this thing all the time. And then in the second drop, it goes and that spices up the drop so much more. And I very much believe you should absolutely do the same with your vocal. So it's not. It's not, again, it could be, or just like a slight adjustment, and then it's repeating half the the amount of times. I don't know. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, because the switch up of the bass's rhythm is not enough for me for this kind of a second drop. The bass is fucking perfect and sounds amazing. But yeah, I would need more of a switch up, and like that would be perfect. Just I hope you do it. This way I get down. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Fiostar Music, for telling me. I have zero experience with streams getting copyrighted. I don't know how big that artist is. I assume I'm just going to play the song and find out. But yeah, thanks for the heads up, I guess. This plucky sound that's in the focus here and there even more is super unique, and I love that. I love how it's panning. Okay. We got another now. Yes, submissions are still open. No idea how many people are in the chat actually. It's just 8 people actually. Yes. Very ready. Hell yeah. You can't hear me over the music? You can't hear me over the music! It is. It's so sick. No house. House no. Okay. Okay, dude. I assume it's no house. That was amazing. Thank you so much for sending. Next up is Basti. What's up? Did I just hear the Miko Lemon meme? No idea what that is. Okay. I'm so cooked. I forgot this feedback stream. No, I'm gonna get to your submission, Laser Blue, I think. It's not too many beeps. Yeah. Right. Feel betrayed. You should use Flutter. I'm kidding. Instant mood, I love it. I see.
Escape that.
That's some proper sudden death in louder type shit. wish I loved it. But for me, that's not enough of a switch up, because it's like still the same sound. It still has like the same tonality. And just because it's repeated a little bit more frequently, I don't know, that doesn't do it for me, unfortunately. I still have like the personal thing with your low subs is I kind of can't feel them because they're so low. I wish they were a little higher. I really like your drums, like they're so snappy and clicky. That fits perfectly and they're standing out perfectly. Your master is like super loud. I'm used to that and it's not bad. But I would love to see you try a song that has a little more space for everything again. Personal preference, I guess. I think it's most audible in like the presence area. Like there's a lot of going on all of the time, basically. Yeah. Let's continue. I don't know. It's kind of switching up the whole feel of the song. Maybe remembering like the last submission, it kind of stuck to the same rhythm all of the time, but it was switching up the sounds, playing the rhythm, and it added like a melody here, but it stuck with the chords. Something you like to do often, I believe, is change up the rhythm, but keep the same sounds. Maybe that's just a pet peeve of mine, but for me, that gets me more out of the dancing zone because it's like, you haven't had enough of this sound? Here, let me show it to you again and again, 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 again. I think if you stuck, like the best part of your drop, I believe was right here. I can easily dance to that. I can groove to that. And I mean, if you do like little additions like like a triplet here and there, can't hurt. I agree. Makes it more interesting. But having the main aspect of your, I don't know, is it a second drop or a B section? I don't know. Be just a different rhythm, but the same sound. I would strongly argue against that personally. And that's all that matters. Here we go with another rhythm here and another rhythm here, but still very samey sounding sounds. I like the thing I'm gonna remember your song for is like the groove of the first sound. And if that would be kept throughout the song more, I would definitely remember the song more. Is this actually the Alien sample pack from Virtual Ride kind of song? Did you finish that already? How many submissions are there before you? Let me check. So we got 9 in queue right now, and you are the semi-last one. So that makes 7 before you, I think. Next up is Phil Stora. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Basti, for sending. I didn't say that. Yeah, it's feedback on a high level. I enjoy your work a lot, and good luck with the song. Is that a good? I don't know. Here we go. Oh, this one's the one with the vocals. Yeah, this is a pretty solid idea, I'd say. I don't feel like the basses and the drum style perfectly match, personally. Like, these are like very trappy drums, and the dubstep and the bass kind of sounds like a dubstep bass from 2017-ish. So I don't know what I'd do. It also is still like a little empty. Like, obviously, I mean, it's just a work in progress, I assume. I really like when the vocals are coming in. Maybe you could experiment with some reverb fills, like automating reverb tails in and out. Like, at this part, it's like definitely missing some energy, and it's just like one example where I can explain it easily, because to me it sounds like you have like a one knob that is controlling like the modulation of the bass, like the yo we, and you're just closing that knob slower here, like you're automating it slower, but there's nothing happening to compensate for that slower that small energy loss, because your bass shines most when it's like doing those fast whoops. So I'd be interested in what this sounds like if it was a and then you do other basses following in that same pattern instead of doing those slow hits. But again, it's hard to tell because like the background is a little bit empty. It's a little bit too work in progress for me to know where exactly you want to go with that. But those are like my first ideas that come to mind. Very much take this feedback with a grain of salt, and do your thing. If you're feeling it exactly this way, then just build it up a little bit more and you're good to go. Thank you for sending. I hope this helps in some way. Also, yeah, pay attention to what Laser Blue says. They are good at music. Zef moaning Beastbox. Wouldn't be the first time, I assume. Hey, Yagoli Call. I didn't know they were involved with this. Let's see. Yeah, kind of saw something like that coming. Cover art looks beautiful. Nice. I'd expected the verse to start here, because there's like nothing added at this point. I mean, it's a very slow-paced song. Kick is definitely going under for me. Again, take all my feedback with a grain of salt. It's not usually what I listen to. You could give the kick a tiny bit more high end. I know it's like a mellow kick, but maybe do that. Nice. And tone down the hats a little bit. I think mixing wise, hyper scores would be a good reference. Oh, have they deleted their older songs? No, it's still here. I think this one. It's like so much more lows focused. Like the hats are so much quieter. I think the song is quieter in general, so definitely match that when you're referencing. But I really like how their mix sounds, and I think that is perfect for the genre. Agreed with Laser Blue. I don't think the kick needs to be louder because it already has a good bunch of low end, I'd say. But yeah, the snare or clap can be louder. And yeah, more high into the kick, as I said. For me, the ducking is a little bit too long as well. So too long of a sidechain curve. But that's taste. I feel like for the big sad, this kind of this kind of melody is a little too funky, if you know what I'm talking about. Like if you want to spark emotions, usually just like very simple chords and writing work best, I'd say. Okay, yeah. Different hat perk samples, yeah. Are the hats quieter? Yes, they are. I feel like they're at a good volume here. Okay. Depends on what you want to do with the song, like how it's meant to feel. Ooh, Sparks are loose. Thank you so much for donating. First donation of today. Gonna check your track right after this one. Feel free to send your song in the Dono feedback chat if you want. But I can just look for it. Oh, I think I didn't open the channel. There we go. That bass movement was a little weird to me. I like that it does this movement. Compared to like the first drop, if you will, this could have some sparkly layers on top that play the melody together with the lead. Like I could imagine some piano that's doing blum 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 blum. I could imagine some glockenspiel kind of instruments or anything plucky and sparkly, basically something that sounds icy. Just playing the same melody. Also, I don't know if that's the intention of the song, but I can very much not memorize any of the melody because it's like a new note every 1, 2, 3, 4, eighth note, I guess. So it's a lot of notes and there's not too much repetition, I'd say. Maybe I haven't focused enough. I don't know. If you want it to be like a very I've turned out the music a bit because I can't turn up my mic anymore. But yeah, I think my point was clear. Thanks for letting me know. The piano is very high passed, I'm just noticing. Bling. Okay. That sounded like... okay. I don't know if you guys know Daniel Thrasher. I haven't watched him in ages, but there was a time when I did, and he has a video on the urge as a pianist to never stop hitting notes after ending the song. Like you do the final chord, and then you do like plum plum plum, and you just like you can't stop, and it's just like going on, and you're like glued to the piano. It's like a weird drug, or something like that. Yeah, anyway, that was really nice. Thank you for sending. Do with this whatever you will. The only thing I'm very secure about is the hats were a little too loud. And yeah, I do referencing with Hyperscore's Remnants EP. So I'm gonna look for your submission now, Sparks Loose. Did you send it in the stream feedback chat? Because I can't see it there. Do we have a different name? Yeah, I can't find it there. Thanks for the donation. Feel free to send it in DMs or in the Dono feedback channel. I made that exactly for that purpose. I'm gonna go and listen to the next one, and right away when you send yours, I'm gonna put yours on the line next. I hope you see this. For now, let's go with Nita Nita. Very excited what you've been cooking. Oh, I didn't send anything. Oh, you just wanted to donate. That's so nice of you. Thank you. Thank you. Very much appreciated. That sounded like... I was thinking for a second, because that sounded exactly like... Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay, it's just something different. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Thanks again for the donation. Alternative rock. Rhythm really confused me for the first half of this build. Now that you're bringing in the snare drum, I'm slowly starting to get into it. if you want to make it easy for the listener, then you could just do a offbeat. But I think you were probably liking this exactly as it is. So. Huh? I don't want to play it again, but I feel like it ends too early. Wait, maybe I should continue listening. Oh, I see. Okay. Sorry for pausing. Interesting. Yeah, I must admit I couldn't really get into the groove of the main melody instrument during the drop because there was like so many notes going on. It's just like climpering all the time. Like, I mean, I could see this being played ordinarily at a drum and bass set. I feel like this is an existing niche, but it's definitely like not the most danceable drum and bass track, I'd say. Also mixing wise, there's definitely too much going on in the build compared to like the actual drop. Like you can even see in volume, but it's also like the drop has less high end, I'd say. Oh no, it's not high end. It's a stereo image. Yeah, stereo and volume, I'd say. I really like your build though. I was kind of missing the drums filter being opened up completely. Like I was waiting for that to happen and then it just stopped. That was why I initially paused because I thought, wait, didn't it just stop too early? Yeah, that's my feedback for this one. I love your ideas as always. You're always doing some very creative shit. And yes, I want to be seen on Discord. It's literally the platform where I drag all my Bumble matches and like all dating app matches because I met my first boyfriend on Discord and it's been the only boyfriend ever since. Hell yeah. Hope that was somewhat helpful. Please continue cooking. Please continue releasing at some point. I would love to hear some released Nita music. Yes. Second row of this track. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to kill you. Are you still alive? What's up, Magu? Kamal remix. Let's go. Who I'm vibing. For this kind of genre, I assume very uncommon length for this vibe of an intro. It's like very long, taking a lot of time to build up. That's okay. Is this for a competition or something? This lead definitely sounds too raw for me. It sounds like you pulled up a Serum preset that was made to be adjusted and you just left it as is. You have a very laid back and eerie, even a bit vibe. So you could do some vibrato, you could make it sound a little bit broken by using a slight Foreman shift and mix that in on 50%, or a frequency shifter and mix it in on 50%. Way more reverb is something that you could do on this kind of a lead. Right now it just sounds a little bit too dry. Bro, really? I don't think it changes lives, but I'm happy you like the plugin. Thanks for coming in and say that. Yeah, that's the kind of, like the slow vibrato kind of stuff, and like heavy reverb. This lead is so much cooler than this part. You could just repeat that here. Okay, now it's playing a little bit too much of a melody that I can't recognize, I'd say. It's always good to have like a recognizable melody in your remixes. Yeah, I just start repeating it here now. I can also already smell this drop coming right out of nowhere. Ooh, I love that. I feel like your main lead wants the drop to be more interesting composition-wise, and your sound design wants the lead to be less interesting. So I think you gotta decide for one of both sides. If you want to keep the lead doing like a little melody, which makes it very interesting and unique, then I'd suggest like having the bass line go do 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 do, something, literally any chord progression ever suggested through the bass line. Right now the bass line is just like staying on one note most of the time, and either change that, or if you want to keep the bass and like focus on making it bass heavy, then you could have the lead be more simplistic as well. There are some songs that do that, and where it doesn't sound bad. Simpler lead even. Where is it? Oh god, it was here. I should just click on it. There we go. I don't know. It's a different kind of song. It's a little faster and a little more energetic, but for some reason this kind of melody matches the bass staying on the root note all of the time better than what you're doing. I feel like your melody is suggesting that the bass should move along with it, and the bass is not doing it. I mean, the bass is moving along with it here. Yeah, I'm sticking by my points. Your bass is moving with it a little bit, but it's not doing enough for this kind of melody to feel justified to my ears personally. Also, like the drop has almost nothing to do with the intro. I feel like your drop is definitely the absolute best part of the song, but it's in a different key. Like you're going from do do. It's not bad. If you like that, then that's okay. But I would definitely make the composition simpler. I would make the intro shorter. I would copy your melody you got going on and have it be played by this lead. And make the melody even shorter, repeat it more so it's like even more recognizable. That's what I do probably. I really like how your drop sounds mixing wise though. I gotta admit that. There is call and response. That's why flip sounds more coherent. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah, that's true. I can always highly suggest going for repetition schemes like this, ABAD. This is like such a widely used repetition scheme, right? So this can be applied to literally anything you're composing. This is the first part of your melody, this is the second part, then you're repeating the first part, and then you're repeating the second part, but change it up at the end slightly. Repeat all of that and just change the ending again. And there you got a written out interesting melody that's recognizable. Crying in the... Oh. It's good, you're bringing back the vocal. Again, I feel like your melody is not perfectly in harmony with the chords. It's not like out of key or anything, but it's just, it doesn't feel like a match made in heaven, right? Maybe you can still experiment a little bit more with the note placement to make it like hit perfectly in the feels, because I feel like that's what it's trying to do. Also, sparks, only if you want. I'm gonna listen to it if you want, but you don't have to, of course. Okay. Okay. That's sick. Yeah, I think you got the sound design down. It's just the composition around it that doesn't benefit it to my ears. Trying something with more call and response is definitely a good call. I think that's something you should try. Yeah, I'd say stick to one melody, make it work perfectly with the chords, give the sub a little bit more movement so it also follows these chords, and then use those chords all along the song. Use the chords here, use the chords here, use that melody here, use the melody here, and you got way more of a recognizable tune that builds up to the drops better. Let's welcome back DM8. Oh yeah. They have been putting out some heat recently. I feel like I remember. Let's see what this is. All right. Feel free to send it in the donor chat. Okay. Are these their vocals? Because they sound really cool. Your vocals? Okay, this is empty. But yeah. Oh, we're going the catchy route, the shuffled route. Okay. I don't know how work in progress this is. I mean, it's 4. So basically I should know, but I don't. Like, the gunshots are like very quiet in the back. I feel like I definitely should admit that, but you're probably aware. The drop down beat is like very muffled, I feel like. I mean, it's crunchy because of the distortion, but it's like very... feel like when you're introducing the super saws, are they super saws? I don't know. They could play different chords, and the bass could also do different chords. It's kind of a little bit similar situation to the last contender, with the bass being too much on the root note and the composition kind of suggesting to be more there. I feel it. Oh, okay. That's actually the catchiest part. Maybe that should be the main idea of the drop, because I feel like this is it's like a cool drop, but it's definitely something that's been done before, like this kind of a distorted bass. And I love the backing here though. That's super cool. I feel like it feels a little weird that the bass is going along with the percussion, like I feel like the bass could actually do the same, and the percussion do the job of making it rhythmically more interesting on their own. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the bass has more punch if it sticks to its more simple rhythmic pattern, and the pots and pans or whatever is happening here would be interesting enough of a switch up. Sorry. Emptiness alarm. I feel like your song could even have a little bit more high end. That out of my mouth is definitely means something, but yeah. It's been some time since I've been like properly listening to mixing on these headphones, so definitely go and reference some similar drops. But yeah, I'd assume if you go to like heavy bass house like this is, they have more high end. A little too crunchy, like in the verse section. It doesn't need to be that crunchy, right? This should be bass note, not going to the tonic again early. All right. Oh. Oh, long bills? I feel like this build was 12 bars long. I need to count again, sorry. I want to find this out. Yeah, you're definitely making me expect it to end here. Or now that it doesn't end, I need another 4 bars after that. Ending it here is confusing. Ooh, that's catchy. Again, like the kick is super muffled. Definitely missing off some of that clicky transient at the beginning. Switch. Yeah, I mean you got the ideas down. You got interesting fills and switch ups. That's cool. That's a cool track. I assume it's gonna turn out great. That's all I have to say about this one. I hope you can do something with this. And now we got some music from Sparks, who kindly donated. So let's see what this is about. Banger profile picture. This is fucking scary. feels a little awkward. Like it's taken me out of the immersion a bit that you're trying to play a rhythm with only these two hat samples. Usually in hi-hats you have like bass layers that are so simple that you want to throw up, and then you have little additions here and there that make it sound interesting. So you can do one that's just doing quarter notes, and then you insert the other one in there at some point, and that makes it sound more coherent. That would make it sound more coherent to me. Right now it feels a little random, like yeah, so this part is a little bit empty. I have no idea where you're going with this track, by the way. So absolutely there's nothing right or wrong here. This piano feels a little too clean compared to everything else that was there before, to me. Okay. Super creepy stuff. Oh. Okay, I feel like I kind of know where you're going with this. Not super happy with the build right now. I mean, it's pretty empty, right? There could definitely be more elements, just like more risers, like a lot of elements that are far in the back, like creepy choirs of anything that you can do a pitch automation on, and then it's just or like long, slow vibratos also do the job really well for this kind of eeriness, I'd say. I like that the kick is like so stompy, but the kick has a super long tail. It's like, and for a dubstep drop like that, that barely works. You should also definitely look into sidechaining. I don't know if you know yet, but that's like the concept where you duck the basses, like everything behind your drums. So when beatboxers actually do that naturally, it's like you can hear how there's first the kick and then the bass, because the kick is taking so much space, but it's like very short. So you just play them after each other, and then both elements have more room. In your case, you have like the kick and the bass perfectly overlapping each other. So it sounds a little too muddy. Oh yeah, I haven't sidechained yet. Okay. That was 30 seconds of explanation for nothing because you already seem to know what it is. Yeah, I'd choose a very clicky, snappy, short kick. I can hear this in like a sudden death void kind of context. Maybe you could actually ask Basti for drums. I feel like his kind of drum choices would perfectly fit. I think he always recommends Vexu drums. That would be this guy who seems to have a Patreon, and there you can get these kind of drums if you want, for money if you want. Your bass has a weird thing to it where it starts like being very mono, and then towards the end it like opens up completely to the sides, and I feel like it should be either filling everything from the beginning or closing down, but that wouldn't make too much sense. But right now it's like That you got some interesting sound design there. The growl feels a little off because it's like a very clean sounding 2015 coded sound design. And everything else is like very dirty and broken. If you want to stick to using your kick for now, you can also just shorten it. You can get rid of the rumbly tail and probably sidechaining everything. I mean, that's your biggest loss at the moment. And give it a little bit more transient boost or just increase the high end. Yeah, your structure feels a little too random, I'd say. Hello discs, welcome back. I find bit reducing clean growls makes them feel more mature. I find bit reducing. Yeah, go ahead and try that. I'd stick to a simpler pattern and switch up the sounds then after like 8 or 16 bars, but have those sounds play the same rhythmical pattern. That usually makes it more predictable, but yet still has enough variety to continue enjoying the song. That's what I do. You're like altering the rhythmicality of this main sound a little too much to my ears. Some really surprising, interesting sound design going on there. I can definitely tell that you're like having fun, like being creative with this. If you want this to be a proper releasable, disciple, malignant, dark dubstep label releasable tune, then this intro is way too long. I would admit that, yeah. But it seems like you're kind of diving into the storytelling a bit, so that's cool. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this one. I really enjoyed it, and thank you for donating again. Let's continue with the main queue. And I got like around half an hour left, so there's not going to be too many more songs. Let's see who's next. We got Tone, then 9767, and then Laser Blue, just to keep track of that a little bit. Let's go with Tone. Are you here? Okay, gonna imagine the delays there. I would make the intro half the length. And this part too. There's not changing and coming in enough for me to keep my attention, personally. That's nice. Is this like a proper drop moment? Is it meant to feel like that? Because then I revert what I say and you can take the time to build up to that, but definitely add more elements and like maybe add like even small teaser drums beforehand here. Oh, that was offbeat, but never mind. If it's meant to be like a verse moment and there's going to be a drop later, which I don't think is the case, then yeah, just shorten the intro a bit. The kick has like a weird rumbly tail to it. Sometimes these kicks can work, but in your case, I would expect a short and usual clicky drum and bass kick. currently the piano is the loudest element in the mix, but I don't think it's what you're meant to focus on. And it also sounds a little weird because it's like ducked so hard because of the sidechain. In drum and bass, you always got to be careful with sidechaining too much because the drums appear so often, so it can feel like a little hiccup when you're focusing on the wrong element. Unfortunately, I don't know what the classic liquid DnB structure is. I beef up the drums and yeah, that's fair. Like main drums, kick and snare. The bass could have like a little gritty layer to it, like something that is fluttered by the low end. I mean, it's liquid DnB. Probably doesn't want to go overboard with that. Maybe it's just my dubstep brain. Yeah, if you just want to sidechain for the sake of keeping your mix clean, but not to have like a ducking feel, and I don't think your song needs a ducking feel, then definitely look into spectral sidechaining or multiband sidechaining. So, because usually the low end is the only problematic area where you need to take stuff out, and the other areas is like where it's kind of like, yeah, maybe like a short dip, doesn't necessarily have to be, or if you do a dip, then you can do it shorter. So try to only dip the low end where the kick is having its low end tail, and then the rest adjust to taste and make it shorter than it is now. I'd suggest. This is a vibe? Absolutely. I didn't even say, sorry. That's normal behavior flare, and your submission is there. It's a weird quirk of Discord, but it's made so everybody doesn't see each other's submissions. Was that a virtual riot sample? Okay, I'm getting your structure now. But yeah, the build could definitely be more interesting, let's say. If this crash going, that feels a little awkward to me. I would just do like a long crash. Spectral sidechaining is, well, everything that has spectral in the name means it's splitting up the signal from lows to highs into many, many bands and then ducking those bands or doing something with those bands. So spectral sidechaining means you have like, hold on. So this is free, this is spectral compressor, and you can route a sidechain input into this. I'm just gonna use a random kick with an ugly kick. Doesn't matter. And then the kick would go as a sidechain input into the spectral compressor. And on the compressor, you would select the sidechain input. And then unmuting it so I'm not disturbing your song, you would adjust attack and release. And you would see like every single line of this is a band. And now you could adjust it so that it's only dipping the low end. You can use spectral compressor for sidechaining, of course. You can use anything that docks something for sidechaining. And yeah, this one's free, so huge shout out. And yeah, you can make it so that it only dips the lows, or you do like a little curve. And that would adjust the high end like very briefly, like dip the high end very briefly, but the low end stays down longer. I rarely do this because even when it's docking a lot, there's still like a tiny amount of low end there. That plugin is free, yes. Spectral Compressor by Robert van der Helm. Let me type that out so you can see. Spectral Compressor, Robert VDH. Wait, you can't see it. I'm stupid. Sorry, taking some time here to click the right thing. But this is the thing. This is what it's supposed to look like. God damn it. Yeah, my setup is only made for SoundCloud, sorry. So I'm gonna type it into SoundCloud and then you can see it. Spectral Compressor by Robert van der Helm. This is yeah, please get it. It is truly OP. Was that this one that we were? Yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is a great vibe. You got that down. I feel like there could be more elements, not to take the focus, but to keep it interesting. Like there could be little ear candy is what you're looking for, I'd say. And the main piano is taking a little bit too much of the focus for me. It sounds too samey throughout the whole song to be like the main focus. Yeah. Thank you for sending. I hope this helps. Some of the delay of the vocals didn't turn out. I didn't even notice because I was focusing on the piano so much. I'm not too big into liquid DnB, so this is take it as always with a grain of salt. Let's go with 9767. We're going with this scale. All right. Sick. Missing some background elements here. Oh, that's fun. That's so fun. You can take some more time to build up to that. Holy shit. Some kind of backing pad choir. I don't know. This suggests that now we're gonna get more elements, like a huge fanfare. Is that how you pronounce it? Of brass. Like I'm imagining Sultan kind of intro. No. I have a better reference. Run this. Oh, remembering songs names. That's. I think it's this one. No, that's the wrong one. There we go. That's what I'm imagining. Yeah, anyway. You could have like a whole theme built out of that, and then you build it up, and then just before the drop, it's only this. It's only like the last bit of it. Yeah, that was poorly timed, but you know what I mean. That's how I do it. This is fucking catchy. I really want to dance to this. Holy shit. Damn. Okay, that was a little underwhelming, Phil. It's like so muffled for the middle of the drop. Yeah, it's the swing that's doing it for me. I'm such a sucker for it. Not too deep into that kind of rhythm. The dubstep hit harder for me. But I get it. It works. Also, with the whole frequency shifting or whatever kind of shifting you're doing with the piano, be careful with the presence area. So like around 4K, I would use some soothe there. You can use spectral compressor now that we're talking about it. So it's like anything up in that area. Be careful with our ears. They're like very sensible there. It reminds me of what I want from Sizzy. What Sizzy is not doing anymore too much. Okay, now a pad, please. Okay, we got some basses supporting the idea. That's cool. There's something to feel like the background, really big chords behind this piano. This part feels so forced. Oh, a bit forced. Okay, we're going slower. I didn't feel like it felt forced. I don't know which part you were talking about exactly, but like the quiet gaps in between were a bit awkward, but I liked that. I did like that the main melody was supported by the bass layer. Maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I can see where it comes from, Laser Blue, because it's like a new melody. Like all I'm remembering from this tune is the piano is fucked up and it has swing in an interesting way, but I'm not remembering like a melody. Maybe you can repeat little sections of that piano theme a little bit more, and then don't introduce a new theme here that's supported with the bass, because like the doot 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 that wasn't there before, and it's for this kind of a song it's a little late to introduce that, I'd say. Maybe, I don't know. Very curious what is going to happen now. Okay. I don't hate it, but it definitely is not as catchy as what you had before. If there's a tempo change like that in the song, I'm always like, please make it worth it. And for me, the tempo change wasn't worth it. Sorry. I'd say just stick with the dubstep and switch, maybe use a fucking guitar and do the same kind of processing, and then you have a slightly switched up sound, and it's gonna be like still atonal and interesting and swung and danceable for the drop, and then make it 2 drops and that's enough. And then people are just gonna fucking play the song in their DJ sets if that's something you want to do. Like this could be its own song. I don't dislike the idea. I feel like it's a bit empty. Okay, these drums sound like they're from 20 years ago. It's interesting. That's so silly. I like that you're being silly, actually. I have to admit that. It's just like I saw like the huge potential in your song, and I wanted to succeed, you know? Maybe VIP, I don't know. I would make, yeah. I mean, you've put proper work into this, so you're probably not going to get rid of the tempo change section and all of that. But what I wanted to say is you also have a lot of these noise sweeps going in there that are like super unrecognizable, and I think they're not very common anymore. Nowadays it's more like some sucky kind of stuff, or some anything that falls under the category of like effects, like that sounds like an effect, like a stuff like that, and not just like plain white noise or pink noise or whatever you're using. And it sounds like it's a little bit crushed, but for me it's missing like a little bit of character. And also like this gap is way too long. I definitely wouldn't advise to do that in this kind of a song. if this was your song idea, that would be perfect. Like the verses are like this. Like keep your song idea simple. The verses are like goofy, missing high end, flute, silly drums, funny, and then the drop goes to dubstep, doing the same kind of melody but with the weird distorted piano, and then keep it to that concept. I always think of songs as like one singular concept that works, like one or two themes that you can recognize and then repeat those the desired amount of times until they're annoying to listen at one time. And then everything else goes into the next song. So if you want to make this kind of a drop as well, then let that be another song. Like this could be an EP, and like it fits the style of the EP because you still have like roughly similar sound design, but it's like such a different feeling. It's like such a different vibe than what you had going on here. Fuck yeah. Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you for coming back to it. Again, careful with the high resonances. But that's the best part. I mean, the best, like this was also the best part. So, like the best concept of your song. Yeah. Okay, awkward gap. It's gonna be the first tune that I'm gonna stop here because I feel like I've been talking ages about this song, and there's other people still like waiting in the queue, and yeah, but it's like super underground. It's whatever you wanna achieve with your song, like you can do storytelling kind of stuff if you want to release on New Aluminum. You can do a 2-drop, 2 simple intros kind of song if you want DJs to play music and want to have success with this on TikTok, I guess. And if you want to put this on big labels, that's my point. And it's also just my point, so it may be completely wrong. But yeah, I've said enough about this. I don't think I have any more words on the ending. Thank you for sending. I very much enjoyed the dubstep part. Please finish it whenever that happens. And let's continue with Laser Blue, who's been patiently waiting, and I'm very excited to hear his song. It's moving off grid in such an interesting way because like the snap is first like hitting together with the sound, and then after that is like right in between the sound, and it has this delay kind of feel to it. That's so interesting. Beautiful. Yeah, me too. Thank you for sending. That's so true. Oh. Well, then just book a lesson with Laser Blue. That's as easy as it gets. I'm sure they would tell you some of their sources, and like also referencing always helps. Like switch back and forth between this song and sound design you like. Okay, my brain is starting to malfunction. I need to close the stream soon. But yeah, if you switch back and forth between a song that you like and yours, with no gap in between, like render it out and then look on a spectrum analyzer and see what's the difference. Focus on the drums, focus on the basses, and you'll see what you'll learn a lot from it. This is absolute masterful shit. I love it. I don't have any feedback on this. It's perfect in what it's doing. The build, like there's so much creativity in this. The build going like fully low, fully missing energy, but you can tell that there are elements building up. You immediately know it's a build. And then it's building up so much, but there's still like so much room left for the drop. It's a perfect build. And you get the drum fills. Really creative stuff. I hope you go places with your music. Yeah, maybe more referencing for you, 9767. That fill. See, I thought you were doing this for 2 years. This, like, this delayed and strong transient mixing. Oh, I love it. I feel like it's a little bit all over the place in writing wise. I have to admit that. Like there's a lot of different kind of themes going on. I think the sound design has exactly the right amount of variety. Maybe it's the rhythmicality, but also maybe I'm losing my train of thought at this point, and I can't really focus on the music anymore. Yeah, I mean, that was consistent, so whatever. Maybe you can do it a little simpler. Maybe not. I mean, it's also the second drop. So the first one is for like DJ sets, and I think that works perfectly. Kind of want to play it again, but you know, the time. So we got 4 more people, and I'm gonna do exactly those 4 submissions and then call it a day. And that is Fratty Boy. Thank you very much, Laser Blue. You're very much appreciated in this chat, as always. That is Fratty Boy 9. Flary the Red Fox, who's been pretty active on the server lately. I'm happy to see that, and I love the brand. Sorry for this weird YouTube crop. I kind of need to work that out. It's gonna just stay like that, honestly, for this stream. And last but not least, we got Alien Codekeep, and I'm just quickly gonna close the channel before any more people can be sad that their song is not gonna be listened to, even though they sent it. Yeah. Except if you want to donate. I'm always going to take money. Okay, Freddy Boy. Love is not from me with Maya. And it's not the finished. Ah! Somebody from Wien. Nice to meet you. That's so sweet. Very real.
Love is just not for me.
There's a weird texture to the vocal.
Love is just not.
Is it stretched in any way? It sounds like it's like stretched, or maybe it's the pitch correction plugin you're using.
Love is just not for me. Horrid on ecstasy. There is no you and me. Can't tell me down. I live inside the beat. Melody's what I bleed. Reach for the stars and see. Lost in the sound.
So sweet. Loki sounded like a fart incoming. Sorry. And like that, okay, was like so far in the back. It kind of fits the vibe. I'm not gonna criticize it. I don't know who the person was where we were talking about the sidechain on the liquid drum and bass tune, but I feel like this is very nice sidechaining. It doesn't feel like it's taking anything away too much, but yeah, it's taking away exactly the right amount, so it feels clean.
Love is just not for me. Horrid on ecstasy.
I'm really getting into the vocal. That's really nice, actually.
There is no you and me. Can't tell me down.
Something about the processing of this vocal feels ripping ass. What does it mean? Too much low end? Maybe for this kind of genre. I don't know. I would maybe give it a little bit more presence in the very highs. So, love is just not for me. Like the very high end.
I live inside the beat. Melody, what I bleed.
I live inside the beat. Is that? I feel like the lyrics are like really cheesy, but somehow I'm not noticing because it's sung pretty well.
Reach for the stars and see. Lost in
You could definitely make them more wet, though. I feel like for this kind of genre, it would only make the song benefit from it. So more reverb and delay, basically, is what I'm saying.
the sound.
That was way cooler of a pre-drop moment than this was. Like, this felt a little underwhelming and random, but this is dragging you into the rhythm, and we all know when to jump, so that's perfect. Fruity balance. Yeah. Maybe it's a little unfitting of a comparison because some drum sounds themselves are so different, and there's like not such a big focus on a piano. That was like in the other song the case. There could be also less taken away now that I'm listening more closely. Like if I'm focusing on the background pads and they're heavily ducked, but it doesn't bother me as much. And there was a more stuttery feel to the first drop. So that also played into it being less bothersome. I really like this drop. I have nothing to say about that. Like the vocal melody was catchy. It was beautiful. The only criticism I have writing wise is that the kind of background pad is playing in the verse and then just the same way in the drop, and it's like all the way suggesting that this is a very calm section, which is not true for the drop area. So if you want to use that thing there, then maybe process it differently in the drop, or use a different element that sounds more, by the character of it, sounds more energetic, and have it play the same melody. Ooh, nice. Cringe to Ableton people in the chat. Okay. That was a very solid song. Thank you for sending that. I feel like it needs a few brushes here and there, and then it's done. And yeah, I appreciate that. All right, let's get on. No worries. Thank you for coming by. Okay, this vocal is processed very harshly. It's not like it doesn't fit the genre, but you got to be careful with high resonances, like in the presence area, like around 4K, and also everything above that. You can keep the effects you get going on there and do some resonance suppression afterwards, or you just dial back the effects a tiny bit. I'm personally never been a fan of layering like a higher octave of the vocal, like a artificially pitched higher octave of the same vocal line. Like, it always sounded goofy to me, and I never got why people did it. Like, it's not as prominent here, it's not as bad, but it's just a general rant. Like, there's so many people doing that, and it just makes the vocal sound worse. No offense to your vocal processing, though. I think I like the processing in your example. It fits it. But yeah, be careful with the resonances. Oh, that's sick. Same issue. I love how it sounds. It's a little too resonant in one of the higher areas. I can't tell you exactly the frequencies, but for my ears, or my headphones in my ears, be careful with that. Wow. Amazing sound design. Okay, yeah, that's even more resonant. Very cool. Not a fan of like spamming those kind of rock drums for the build-up. I would keep those playing their pattern and then use different build drums on top that are coming in, because it's like, it feels a little lazy, if that makes sense. Not in a bad way, but when I'm listening to this, I feel like I see you as a producer who is like, how can I make a build easily? And I'm taking out of the immersion from the song. Oh, sick. Oh, yeah, it's starting to be fatiguing to my ears. Oh, okay. Catchy. Yeah, your song structure is also a little random. Like, there's these gaps in between, and sometimes they start a completely new section. It feels a little too unpredictable to me personally. I would stick to like 16 bars sections, maybe 8-bar build if you want, 16-bar drop, 16-bar B section if you want. Yeah. Does the song need this happy chord here? like you're starting in this eerie vibe. We producers have a tendency to hear too much of our own music, that we have the desire to switch things up too much. But this is just a 2-minute 30 tune. I don't think you need to be like completely creatively switching it up and bringing in something entirely new after these 2 drops. You can just do a normal outro in the same vibe of your existing song. Different song. Amazing vibe, different song. Sometimes I'm getting a little overcompressed vibe from you. I wasn't too sure about it in the beginning, but here it's again, well, it's like these little volume inconsistencies that you can sometimes hear. So definitely be careful with the compressors and limiters you use. I think for this kind of dubstep genre, you don't need to limiter on the master at all if you have one. Just like use a clipper and like limit your sounds individually or clip the sounds individually. This was super cool. I see very much potential in this track, and I'd say the only thing you need to be really careful is high resonances, and take another look on your song structure again. Maybe make it a little bit more predictable. All right, that's it from me on this tune. Thank you so much for sending. Now you'll have to enjoy this weirdly cropped YouTube video from Flair the Red Fox, and the song is named Shock and Static, which you can't see because it's not. Yeah. Let's hear it. Okay, right off the bat, this sound feels too unnatural to my ears because it's like repeated so often. It's like I think you got a hi-hat going on there that's like playing. I can't tell if the clicky part is like part of the instrument that's like playing the notes, or if that is a separate hi-hat, honestly. Either way, that's a little too repetitive for me. So if you have hi-hats there, then you can definitely use more samples, just switch it up and make it. You can even try doing it with your mouth and then modifying it so it does sound less like your mouth. But yeah, a little bit more variety. That's a cool effect. This sounds like a drum and bass tune. The clap doesn't sound like a drum and bass clap. Sorry, I'm just catching up with the chat really quick because I forgot. It's a motif on the record I released. Okay. Bang up progression. Oh yeah, I mean that makes sense then. Yeah. As in modal notes are natural. Unfortunately, I don't know the song. I know the artist's name and I've yet to check them out, but nothing I've heard from them like completely blew my mind yet. Yeah, so definitely try to find more drum samples that sound like drum and bass, if you will. I know it can be hard at first or at any point to like find good samples. I think the way I've been doing it is just collecting over time and like maybe have a Splice subscription now and then and like get your best packs that you want to use for a while. But I don't think you need Splice now at the moment because like labels like Neo Aluminum and Exabold, like there's a lot of labels that just release small sample packs with each release. That can definitely help. And otherwise, like check out Patreons of artists you like Sharks has really good samples. That would be like a one-time payment then, but it might be worth it. Okay, that sound is a little bit goofy. It sounds like these pipes that you turn around that are meant to sound goofy, I think. Yeah, we love New Aluminum in this household. We have a composition going on that's cohesive. I like that. I'm hearing a little bit too much of the same sounds like you. I appreciate that he's switching up things right now, but the only like switching up the rhythm of the kind of sound isn't enough for me. Like I'm longing for a different section where you're taking out the drums entirely or using different drums or add more elements, take more, just a different section. Yeah, it's not just in the beginning, like the it's like all over the song so far. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice switch up. I feel like the sound is too reverby as well. Like I'm drowning in the reverb a little bit. Like the reverb is filling the sides a lot, and then you get like the sound being like tiny in the middle. Personally. That's cool. Could definitely have more elements going on here. That was one more moment that was like what I criticized in the beginning. Like in a real drum playing context, if a drummer hits the snare drum 3 times after each other, like da 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 da, it would never sound exactly the same. Like this sounds too much like you've been placing samples on a grid in a DAW, and there are different ways to add variety to drum samples. Like pitch them a tiny bit is a quick way. I really like doing like small formant shifts. There's a plugin that is called Auto Pitch that you can get for free, that if you disable all settings, it's originally used for vocal processing, like tuning, but it also has a formant shift, and I've recently found out that it can add a lot of like that small variety to drum hits to make them feel more natural. Yeah, a proper bass would also benefit this song right here. Like a very deep instrument. But that was really nice as a switch up between all the heavy bass music. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for sending. I should use more samples. I used drum sets for this song, no samples. But those were samples. Like they were like exactly repeated parts of it. You mean like sampled drum sets, or like you didn't record your own drums, right? Oh, like an electrical drum set. Is that what you're talking about? Because of course an electrical drum set is also going to do the same. It may feel like very performative and be very performative when you're doing it and like sitting there and hitting it, but ultimately depending on the set and like the sampled instruments on there, it's still going to be samples that are like exactly the same after each other, which has this unnatural touch to it, unfortunately. Yeah, that's as far as my feedback goes there. Really thank you very much for sending. Hope you can do something with this. And now let's get to the final submission for today, which is Bom 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 by Alien Codekeeper. Ooh. Sick. I really like the sound design, and I feel like the drums fit the sound design perfectly. If this is gonna be the drop, then I could very much see this become a festival banger if you add like a tiny vocal one shot over it. That's like, ah! And then it just repeats like in quarter notes or like half notes. So like, that was horrible, but you know what I'm talking about. That would beef this up to be like a Skrillex kind of drop, I'd say. Okay, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like the drums are a little too small for like a festival drop setup, but you know what I mean. The Humvee thing, there are too many producers doing vocal shots like this to have it be one of their things. That feels super cool. But yeah, I mean, it's drums and a bass. Oh. Can have more background elements. It feels like very low and mellow. If you want it to be more festival energy, you can add some multiband compression and maybe choose some heavier drums and use these drums for the verses because they're good sounding drums and fit the context. That's something you could do. I don't know why it's like a different key here. I don't dislike it. If it went back to like like the key previously, then that would not sound too bad. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary either. That's your creative choice. No, I like this. I'm curious to see where this goes. Thank you very much for sending. As you can tell, I'm stumbling over my own words by now. Really appreciate you sticking around. I hope my feedback helped. And I'm going to end it right now. Bye-bye.